on A1A. We're gonna stop to park here. I guess we're probably gonna get out. Meters here.
St. Augustine, Florida. It's Thursday, August 25th, and as you can see, it's a little bit after 10. We're going to go on the walking tour of the different historical places here. This is the oldest settlement in the United States here. Oh, who's that over there? Hello! Hi. There's our nice Plymouth that we took down here. Quarters. Okay. Getting ready to go now. Turn off the date timer. Nice and warm today. It's probably going to be in the 90s. Castillo de San Marcos National Monument. Who is that over there? Nathan sitting down? We're gonna head into this fort, I guess. See what's in there. Are they talking to you? Taking a picture of two wooden Indians here. Here we are heading over towards the visitor center here in St. Augustine. One of the horse-drawn carriages. You might want to do that, see how much that's going to be.
The small seashells and sand that's poured together into a form of a block.
This is the Visitors Information Center. There's a picture. St. Augustine. Information Center. Inside the Visitors Center here. I don't know what Teddy and Nathan are playing with there. Lots of things, I guess, you could do in here. Well, here we are coming out of the Visitors Information Center.
Here, did anybody look at their watch? Anybody look at their watch?
About 10:06.
Here we are inside here. And Augustine's sightseeing.
Dad, the oldest wooden schoolhouse is to your right.
Okay.
Here, look at over here. Here's the sign. Here. There's a metal sign over here. See it?
Okay, let's see the metal sign. Let's have a family picture here in front of this.
Sure. Yeah.
Come on, Nate.
Nathan, come on over there. Nathan. Hello.
Hi there.
Okay, I'm going to take your picture with the still camera. Do you want to go into the schoolhouse?
Yeah. Do you want 50 and 75 cents then?
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing you said you didn't want to.
We're here at the Grove entrance, inside of the city gates.
Artists and paintings are down there.
Mislim da Tarunga, je?
Heading along. So take another view this way. Nice peaceful street here.
Choose the Spanish Quarter Museum that we're going to go in.
How old is Andy again?
Spanish Quarter Museum. Should we go in here?
Yes. I know. I just looked at it. It's a good thing Andy just came down. Let's do it. That's all I have.
Nathan, wait out here.
Supposed to hear the muskets firing. The lady who just came out of the ticket booth paid family rate of $10 plus tax.
But that pretty much covers all of them because everybody else is either a copy generally of the British or the French anyway. And some of them were quite interchangeable. If we had a British musket out there, that would be fine. Because a lot of those were kind of
on the cushion on the floor, the members lounge on the floor against the saddle frame. And the cushion in Arabic is called a sofa. In Spanish, that becomes a sofa. So that's the family sofa over here. By the 1500s, wealthy Spanish families were having low benches built and stand against one wall, and they would take all the family sofas and put them on the bench in a row and then cover it with a piece of carpeting. From that, the French got the idea that a sofa is a long piece of upholstered furniture, but it's actually just these cushions. So it's a system that we might think of as graft and corruption. To them, it was a working economy. But the way it
Talking
worked,
about a soldier's life
and
back
the way
in those
things
days.
went on here is this pot's a very good example. This pot is from Spain. It's glazed terracotta. It cost a few cents in Spain. It's not good pottery. This is not porcelain. It's just junk. Cost a few cents there. But Spain has horribly high export tariffs in the 18th century. They go back to about 1570 when they started putting the tariffs on. So they a long history at this point. But all over North America, from central Mexico right up to French Canada, or deer hides. Now this is a female hide. It's wonderfully flexible leather. Doe skin was in great demand, but a very small area here. So these were always worth a half an ounce. A half an ounce of silver, that's half a peso, that's 4 reals or a half dollar. The male hide, the leather's not as nice, it's thicker. This will be used for men's things, men's pants, men's coats or vests. But there's a great deal of it. You see how much larger the male hide is. That's worth an ounce. 8 reals, a peso, or a dollar. These are so commonly traded that most merchants will price their goods not in money but in deer hides. And that goes back, doing that goes back at least to the 1680s. So that American money. But you could cut the Spanish coins up, they were designed for that, and that was called breaking. Again, it's at least at this point 140-year-old trade, probably closer to 200. And the coins, once you cut them up, the Spanish coin, they were cut up into 8 slices like slices of pie. Each piece was called a real in Spanish. In the American colonies, they were known as bits. You know, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, a dollar, that's where that comes from. And stock prices are still quoted in 1/8. And that's from the time when these bits or these reals were the smallest coin commonly in circulation. Very conservative language. Once it gets in, it can't escape.
That was a very educational building we were in now. That was a soldier's quarters, I guess. That's what it was. His family slept there. Now we're heading over towards a place right here. See what this one is. Ooh, it's pretty low in here.
They actually ate quite well. Everyone had their own garden. You walk with them, this is food that they actually made. American Indians introduced corn to them and squash. So it would have been like a stew at lunchtime. Oysters, geese, fish. They had game back there, of course. Pigs and chickens would have been running around here, and cattle was being raised outside of the state. So they were eating well. This is called a bolda. This is where they would have kept their leftovers. What the English call a rat's table. Scare away the varmint trying to get into your food. This is a water vat. This is not glazed, so it would keep your wine or your water just a little bit cooler than. It's not exactly great refrigeration of it.
Garden out here. Not sure what those are over there.
We got pepper tree. Look at this pepper tree, honey.
Uh-huh.
This must be what happens when they don't freeze up. They just keep going.
I guess so.
These are the hot peppers that they serve in the restaurant, the little greens. That's cute.
We're gonna
Did you do it?
move over here now, right? We'll see when we get into this building.
Your things on it. You don't go in a building.
It's made out of a kind of a high-end plastic, but it's the same.
I still got the wooden dome and the wooden sort of sharp. Yeah, we have to go to the rest of them. Even so, I mean, I thought it was something
Same,
invented this
same
century.
design. Same design hasn't changed in centuries. So
That works better.
yeah, that works better than that Black and Decker which I brought this week.
Here we are. Here's a nice man. I think we're at the blacksmith.
I think so. I can't tell.
All these different tools. Dad, how do you zoom in?
Oh, this is the carpenter.
Dad, press the zoom in button.
You just move it.
The carpenter repaired furniture and worked on small items.
Moving
This is
it.
the carpenter shop. See that?
Oh, here we go, in.
Anyway, you
Let's go in some
you
more.
can take this whole thing apart, and once you take it apart, you have
Okay, Nate.
something that you can
Wait,
take
Dad.
to your job site. Let's say if you wanted to work on a ship, or if you wanted to work on a house, or whatever, you can take this right to the job site. You have a
Oh, look.
Looks like the roof is made out of
four
palm
areas that
fronds,
Roof is made out of palm
leaves.
leaves. Here I go, signing off. Goodbye.
here that holds.
Here go, Dad. Yeah, I got a few zoom ins on that, and I got zoom in on him.
You've also got bolt.
Let's go around
Okay,
the
I'll
other
go
side.
around the other side,
We
yeah.
can see him better.
Just looking at this side here. This must be the harness shop.
Other types of building supplies besides nails, for instance, they made hinges, door latches, and pulls. Some of them made locks, some here repaired them. Locksmiths were all originally blacksmiths. And some of them would also make agricultural implements such as shovels, hoes, axes, tools of that type. And some of them had little special deals or contracts. They would make runs of nails or other things for house wrights who built houses. If you had a wheelwright in the neighborhood who built wagon wheels, there would always be a blacksmith or something that would be kind of like a partner with who furnished the iron tires for the wooden wagon wheels, that sort of thing. And a few, as I said, specialized in making locks or other peculiar items, certain kinds of special tools. One thing that they didn't usually make was weapons. Contrary to some of the things they might show you in movies, those were usually produced by a specialist known as an armorer. In the old days, they actually made armor, which is why they were called that. But by the 1700s, only a few did. They still had ceremonial armor they used for things in Europe. But most of them, we had one here, for instance, for many years in the middle 1700s, and he was a producer of swords and daggers, that sort of thing. Also did some work for the Army garrison over there, probably gun parts or something, muskets. We also had a farrier, and a farrier was who actually did the horseshoeing. Blacksmith shops like this had nothing to do with horseshoes. That's 20th century stuff that they started around 1900 or so. In the old days, you had a separate person, and that's what he did. He took care, and they shoed many other things with horses, too, which is something that you were not aware of for your harness for your horses. They put nose rings and tops. Anything to do with animals here was their job.
Diane says?
Yeah, that hammock turned orange, yeah. Hey, can I get a film of the garden? Could I film the garden?
No. This is the blacksmith shop that we were just at. Now we're going to be heading into another building right here. What is this wall made out of? Huh, interesting. That wall is made out of here.
Starting in the top left corner and winding around the edge. And they're sitting in a basket, ready to go back on, but next we have to find a time to retrieve some actual cloth inside there. That cloth that you see hanging out front was made on the aluminum store and the cloths that are on each of the chests. This just used to be a home back in the 1740s, and at that time just a husband and wife lived here that didn't have any children yet. And we've kind of taken the liberty of changing this house, as you've already seen two soldiers' houses, and just tell you a little bit about their clothing. They were trying to fight in those days. I have flax on my spinning wheel right now, so for flax I can spin linen. So we have a change. This plant form is called flax, but we're changing its name. So this is what the linen thread looks like. These are actually plant fibers. These are flax branches. The fibers are inside the branches. And we think they had to go through about 22 steps.
This lady is going to maybe do something with her spinning wheel.
So it might have been maybe a year going from planting the flax to spinning it to the outfits. The thread's really going to be made right here. Because this is where you need to look. And all that really happens is I just have to be able to keep pedaling without thinking about it. I'll be pulling the flax fibers off at a time, and then right here, the fibers are going to be twisted together because this is my turning because I'm coming out to it. So I'm going to kind of let it over twist just to show you. See it turning, twisting? Really, that's how your thread is made. It's just these twisted flax fibers. And this is twisted about turning, of course, the faster so you can launch it. So this is how your thread is made.
Spinning wheel, making the thread.
We think probably it would have taken maybe about 3 weeks of spinning to get you the amount of thread that you would need to take over to that perfect frame. Put it on the loom. So we have to set a year just to get to here and almost another month just to actually spin the thread.
Look inside here now that the folks have all cleared out that we're in here. The lady who has all the weaving equipment in here.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that the other day. Yeah.
Shot from this side here.
How do we get it now, or how did they get it then?
How did they get it? How did they get it from
Well,
what looks like weeds?
we think what they did is they would wait till this was maybe about 3 feet high, kind of like weed, and they would, we think they cut it,
Andy?
put it in bundles,
Andy?
put it in a river string on the outside. This is called a hackle. Hackle board, this is the hackle, this is your metal comb here. What you do is you put it through the bottom, take it like this, come up here, from one side to the other, just keep turning. And that gets it, so it's nice. Yeah, it is. Of course, today we just order our flax from the company that supplies things to. Where you have it came from? That cochineal beetle.
It's from a beetle, Nathan.
We're looking into a tavern here. The lady we were just taking a picture of before, she's originally taught school in Penn Yan, Canandaigua, and also Hammondsport. Just moved down here last year with her family.
Okay, come on.
Looking through another window here of this tavern. Tavern back in the 1500s.
Here, why don't you take this little...
New England industrialists supporting the abolitionist movement. So this was a little bit rare. Loring took the liberty to purchase some New England-made furniture because F Company of the 2nd Regiment of Territorial Militia was Loring's personal army, composed of relatives and his friends. And when he said it was Loring's mounted rifles, they meant literally Loring's mounted rifles. So he took liberties with some of the very strict social codes they had. Took some liberties, but not a great deal. The runner underneath the dining room table here, heavy-duty sail canvas painted with an oil-based paint. Oil-based linseed, not petroleum-based oil. It's what we commonly refer to as oilcloth. Not all of it simply sail canvas saturated with linseed oil. Oftentimes that linseed oil was pigmented with color, and that is also oilcloth. Found in use from Nova Scotia to Key West, all up and down the Atlantic seaboard. Wherever you would find coastal communities like St. Augustine, you would also find that canvas floor covering you use. The room over there is the housekeeper's room. Understand the nature of what a housekeeper actually is. Housekeepers do not
This is
run
the
around
housekeeper's
and
room.
mops and brooms. They are never so they are supposed to be there. It's not housekeeper, it's not a maid. She supervised the household staff, the slave maid, 3 slave children to help with the household duties, often complemented, according to Loring's diary, with a cook and a gardener brought in from the plantation, all under her direct supervision. She maintained the household funds, paid out the household menus, purchased the household goods, and primarily acted as a supervisor of the household staff. That is the nature of what a housekeeper does.
We're in this big guided tour now. This is the dining hall. It's the housekeeper's room.
The rest of that room, what they called it, they called it an office. They did that a lot. And the study was a study because this was a room designated basic to accumulate information. Not to conduct business, to accumulate information. Some of that information you accumulate here may be used in conjunction with your business or in your office. In Loring's case, he was a militia officer studying tactics, or perhaps pursuing his own personal hobby, considered himself a bit of a naturalist. All of these things took place in your study. You're studying. That's why they call it study. Brilliant wordplay, yes. This is also the oldest part of the house. So it's thrilling too. This is the most thrilling part of the house. Even the younger men. Yeah, you're right. This is this wall, that wall, and the wall behind me date to the 18th century, mid-18th century. 3 of the remaining perimeter walls of the Antonio de Mesa house. The other wall over there is lattice and plasterwork, and it is 19th century. The Antonio de Mesa house actually stood about 3 feet out from the corridor. And this was the rest of it. The whole building started out right here. This was it. Remember, when you think about 3 feet of the corridor, think of the little houses you've already looked at. Not terribly small. Biggest thing in the house.
Now I get to film